Hey guys, this is John, and I'm playing MHB in the 1 minute pool on ICC. First game of the session. MHB is 22-33, and I'm opening with the Larson. I'll try to get bishop b5 in, pinning that knight if we can. Now knight up to e5 is attractive if allowed, so I'm going to do that because that's a tempo on the queen. I think we can take and maybe play f4. He might kick me away with f6, but I have good control over e5, so I feel comfortable in this position. Let's play d3 and then just knight bd2. Plays bishop g4. I'm not sure about that move. I might play queen e1. This is a move I've alluded to many times when playing this line. Takes there, but I can take this way. And you might have trouble on e6, although that's a good reply, I must admit. Okay, let's come here. I'm looking to play rook e1. Wow, and he castles that way. So, an imbalanced position. Maybe I can get the knight up to f5 or play this move and try to attack this pawn. Get him to compromise his structure in some way. Ooh, I should have traded, though. This is compromising my structure much more than his. So, a bit of a mistake, but the game continues. Let's try to swap one pair of rooks. That would be helpful. And I'm going to defend the f4 pawn. Let's go rook here, maybe probe on the king side. I think attacking this guy is not a bad start, at least. Maybe set this pawn in our sights. Go back, I suppose. Let's see. Well, I think I'm going to try to defend it for a little longer. He might take my knight on c4, though, is the only thing I'm worried about. Let's go here, seeing if he wants to allow me to take. Okay, because now I can do this and then maybe play e5 at the very end of this. Look to attack. He's going to get his king up. Okay, maybe not. Tough position to assess. Let's see. I'll get this up here. Okay, take that. Let's get this out of there. We'll take the pawn. Oh boy. Oh, he ran out of time before me somehow. 68 mover to start the session. I could have sworn I was down on time there in that time scramble, because right around when he was bringing his king to the king side, I glanced at the clock and I was down several seconds. So I must have made up some time somewhere there. Tough game. I messed up by not playing queen takes c6 here. For some reason, I didn't think he could play queen takes f3. Strategically complex game. There must have been a way to take advantage of his decision to leave the king in the center, because that seems suspect, putting the king on e8, just leaving it there, and allowing me to open the middle of the board, the e file. But it is a bullet game after all. Okay, let's get back in there. It is almost 10 o'clock p.m. on Sunday night. I'm just winding down after a good weekend. I did a very long video today where I analyzed some games played in the jesschess 45 plus 45 league. It was like a 2.5 hour video. So this is a nice way to just, burn off some energy. I actually was energized looking at the games in that league because there were some really cool games to look at. So if you can stomach a 2.5 hour video, you should go check it out. Rayosx is the next opponent. Okay, I'm going to get the pawn back, hopefully, by doing this. If he plays c3, I can take a couple times. It's hard to defend this pawn, so even though we had to retreat our knight to b8, we still do gain the pawn back. Okay, let's go here. I'm going to take on an IQP. It's not the end of the world to do this. He's going to plant a knight on d4, almost certainly, but we control the f5 square, so I feel okay about this. Let's play knight e4. Good move to get in. I'll take with the pawn, and maybe I can maneuver around and get into d3. I'm stopping his knight from coming to c4 as well, so that's nice. Okay, let's do this. I guess I'll take with the pawn. Maybe rook c3 coming. Bit of a weird position. I feel like my position is slightly loose, but then again, I don't see how he can take advantage. Let's go here. And then maybe swing this over. He's going to bring it right back. He's just going to be annoying here. Okay, let's do this. I hope that a-pawn doesn't become too much of a problem. Can't do that, so let's take here. And then try to neutralize the a-pawn. He's going to let me take this. Okay, I see his point. He's going to play... Alright, so what's going on here? I can't take, you're telling me? Okay, I guess you're right about that. But I blundered because he can just win my rook now. He didn't do it, though, surprisingly. Okay, let's bring this in. Yeah, he had his crush there if he just played that accurately. Can bring this up now. And now we're threatening mate in 2. We get the checkmate. Very fortunate win by me because he just had queen a8 check right here. h6, I had to make a waiting move to make sure my king doesn't fall victim to a back ranker. And queen a8 check would have forked the king and the rook. I don't know if I have... Oh, I guess I could play rook b8. I should have played rook b8. I was put off by the fact that he was moving much quicker than I was. So I didn't quite round up the a-pawn in the way I wanted, but got the job done, and that's what counts. Okay, back in the pool, 24-46. Let's see where I'm at on the list. I don't even think I'm on the best list right now, but let's check. Nope, I'm just a little bit off the best list. So getting up 24-61 plus would be a nice goal for this session. Who is this GM? Assured. They're number 1 on the list. Yevgeny Levin from Russia, 24 years old. Big Wolfie is number 3, untitled player. You never can be so sure with those untitled players, though. Sometimes they're grandmasters or IMs or FMs in disguise. This player probably not. Just looking at his finger notes, but you never know. Okay, let's check out a game while we wait. A very low-rated women's grandmaster, 1584. Not a high rating at all in bullet territory. Now white might have some issues because the knight on b5 is loose. Okay, well, they dropped that knight on e7, and now they're dropping checkmate in a couple moves. That collapsed quickly for Arc 7777. But if he would have played right here, just bishop takes b5, it looks to me like black is going up a piece. White does have some powerful stuff down the c-file, but not enough to compensate, I don't think. Let's check out another game while I wait. Same players. Yeah, this time of night, there's another women's grandmaster who's not above 1600. This time of night is really hit and miss. Occasionally I'll see tons of strong players on in the late evening US time, and other times it's just completely dead. So I'm playing jesschess, and I'm going to try to get this pawn back. Let's just castle. They're pre-moving. I like to try to catch players who do this, but you gotta time your attempts to catch them correctly, because it's not simple to do. And sometimes you can mess yourself up and even catch yourself in the process. Okay, so let's go here. I'm trying to get in bishop c4. Also, the pawn on a2 was hanging. Okay, they covered that. I should have taken on a2 on the previous move. That would have been much better. Okay, let's just take this way. So I have the 2 bishops. A lot of compensation, I think. Let's take... I can't quite do that. I guess I can take here first and then take back. I'm going for bishop takes c4. They have queen g4, but they're going to run into a back rank issue if they do that. So they smartly avoid that. Let's go here. I don't know about this, though. Yeah, I'm kind of pinning myself down. I don't quite like what I'm doing right now. I'm going to go here just in a bid to exchange. If he plays king h2, then I would have had bishop f4. Would have been a nice way to proceed. Okay, let's do this. Bring this in. Trying to go rook d2, maybe. He has to play rook a3, kind of go passive. Maybe we can sneak our rook in somehow and bother them a little bit. He can play his king to h5 and try to come into g6. I'm obviously going to stop that. Okay, let's go here. Again, trying to bother him. Try to draw that rook back to the b3 square. Okay, I'll take that. He wants the knight up to f6 so he can set up knight takes f6 check, but of course we aren't going to allow this. I'm actually going to put a stop to his advances with the king. And then we're going to control the queening square. Yeah, and he forfeited on time. Or she. That was tricky. That was quite tricky. I gave the piece back because I didn't want to allow king g6. That was a pretty conservative play. In retrospect here, I could have just played bishop to g7. And then after king g6, rook g3 check, and white's king would have to go back to h5. There are some stalemate traps, though. Actually, bishop g7... No, okay, rook takes g7 doesn't work. But I have to be careful because white's king is almost self-stalemated on that square. I should have played... I'm just going to go back in the pool now. But I should have played bishop takes a2, a move before I mentioned it. So right here, after knight d1, bishop takes a2 was available. I guess I might lose the a5 pawn in that case. Rook a1, bishop moves and then a5. This position must be excellent for black, but yeah, I dropped the a5 pawn and had to scramble for compensation. But I have such a great pawn formation that my compensation is ample, it seems. So let's see if we can get some, I don't know, 2,400 plus players. That would be nice. Yeah, these players are not going to cut it. Ronanosh 9. Let's play e4 this game. Caro-Kann. Let's go advanced variation. I'm going to try my trap line h4 and see if I can get someone to fall for e6, g4. They didn't fall for it, unfortunately for me. Let's just do this. We're going to attack the bishop and then pick up the pawn. We're going to go here. Let's play bishop g5, try to weaken their d6 square in the event of bishop e7 and a trade. Okay, so we can take here now. I like this position a lot. I think if they go pawn hunting on b2, they can wind up in quick trouble. Let's bring this knight into the action. If they take, then I get to attack the e6 pawn. Maybe black is best off castling as they just did. But here I can continue with check. And this might win the exchange. Yeah, they're going to sack the exchange and see how they fare. They need some pieces in the action, but that drops a piece, so he resigned. Okay, so the trap there is one that you can't expect a good player to fall for, but after h4, if black plays e6, so let me go back to the beginning. If black plays e6, as Caro-Kann players like to do once they get the bishop to f5, then white's going to play g4, bishop e4, f3, bishop g6, and h5, and that piece is a goner. So that's what I was trying to arrange. And after h5, I think it makes sense for white to play c4 and then knight c3. White has a space advantage. Here I tried kind of a unusual plan where you bring the knight to g3. I think more often white plays knight f3 instead, but I have a couple students who have done this from the white side, and I kind of like the knight potentially going to e4 in the future. So that's why I did this. Okay, right back in there. Maybe black could have given the exchange back, or not back, just sacrificed the exchange in a different way. Right here after knight d6, I have a feeling that bishop takes d6 is best. And then even though I get bishop takes d8 in with tempo, after queen takes d8, let's say, take here, black has a choice. They could grab this pawn, or maybe it's better to grab this pawn and try to arrange knight f6 and maybe menace knight g4. True, white is up the exchange, and it should be good for white, but at least I'd have to watch my h2 square. And I feel like this pawn isn't so strong right now if black can get coordinated. The other line that you encounter in this one is on move number 4. If instead of h5, black sometimes plays h6. And there's a lot of games that go g4. And here the best move is supposedly bishop d7, interestingly enough, if I'm recalling my theory correctly. Hiding the bishop on a seemingly bad square, but then you're going to go e6 and try to follow with c5 all the same. And try to prove that white's pawns advancing on the king side are not that big of a deal. I don't think I've had too many opponents who have played h6, though. Most people play h5. They seem to prefer that. WingForDie, first time with the Scandi this session. Let's play the queen a5 line. Going back to my roots, he plays the Mises Gambit. Good choice in bullet, I think. I'll play a6, just stop any bad stuff happening on the b5 square. Okay, let's come here, attacking the d4 pawn. I'm happy to get a swap in if allowed. Then I would hit the bishop and the pawn on g2, so I like the looks of that. I think knight e5 is a bit premature for this reason. And if he plays queen e2, then he loses d4. So white's got to come up with something quick. I think I can take that, so I'm going to do it. And here, can I take here check? I think I can. I believe I can do this, because if bishop d2, I have queen takes c4. And he's just going to lose a piece now, is the problem. That's a whole piece we're coming out ahead. Okay, let's give a check here, just to see what white does with their king. And maybe we'll just withdraw this. He was threatening bishop takes d5, and my bishop would have been undefended. Yeah, so he resigned. So knight c6 was a timely resource there. Occasionally in the Scandinavian, you want to play knight c6 if the pressure on d4 is annoying to your opponent, and that's what we have here. I'm fairly certain this is a good move. And as I described, if white were to take the knight on c6, then I have queen takes c6, and by virtue of having played a6, I'm covering b5, so there's no bishop b5 skewering my queen and my king, and I'm hitting these 2 points. And also, if the bishop moves back, then they lose the knight on c3. So he thought for a while here and then played bishop f4. But then I took here, take. I just had to be careful not to take one of his bishops here because I would get checkmated on d8. But taking on c3 check looks to work because if king here or here, I can take the bishop with check and then go back and take the knight. And if bishop d2, I can take here. The queen is blocked from queen d8 checkmate. Black emerges up a piece. So everything seems to check out. No pun intended. So off to a good start, but admittedly I'm playing some players a little lower rated than I'm accustomed to in the 1 minute pool. ICC is always tough. That's why it's unusual when you played already a few games in the pool and you haven't ran into a shark yet. Those of you who have mainly seen me in action on Lead Chess, the Lead Chess tournaments, like those Lead Chess tournaments are much softer compared to the ICC 1 minute pool. This is the strongest pool, strongest set of players on the internet, as far as I know. I've heard Play Chess is also strong from time to time, but I don't really play on that site. So waiting for the next opponent. Let's just see again who's in there. Ooh, it's our buddy Annett. His rating has dropped quite a bit, 1782. And I'm not trying to make fun of any of these players. It's just like unusual to see, decorated players, WGM and GM with ratings that don't even cross 1800. But I get it. I mean, it's bullet. It's fast. It's not reflective of your chess skill. It's reflective of your chess skill and your ability to move your mouse fast. Think under pressure. Okay, Grobdeg. I made the mistake of playing the Grob against this guy one time, so let's just play d5 and play it simple. I was encouraged by his username to play the Grob, and that backfired. Let's go bishop g4. He's playing a setup I like from the white side as well. He plays it with e3. Interesting. Haven't seen that approach before. Okay, let's do this. Maybe I'll go for a quick c5. This looks like a good way to play it with his queen on c2. Yeah, take here, hitting the bishop. Let's chase that queen. I'm just curious where he'll put the queen. Doesn't look like it has too many good options. So I may win the bishop pair out of this. Don't even have to react to that yet, but nah, I'll take it. I'll take it. Why not? Okay, let's go knight d7. I think he's going to try to hunt down my light square bishop, so I'm trying to prepare myself for that inevitability. Let's go here. I'm not sure about this. Really working hard to keep my light square bishop, but maybe I should just let it go. Yeah, let's let them do this. Problem is now I'm going to lose some tempos. Queen e8, I guess. If here, there's bishop b5. Grobdeg is turning the screws. I got to get my queen free, but knight d7 is an issue. Okay, I'm going to go here. I know I lose this pawn playing this way, but I just didn't see what else to do. Okay, he's going to play that anyways. Intriguing. Okay, let's look for a swap. I'm down a bunch of time, too. Bishop c4 is probably a good move. Ugh, this is gross. I hate this position. He can just move his queen. I'm pinned up. Let's hope that it's hard for him to get his knight out. Let's hope I can play bishop e6 or something like that. Okay, well, he kind of panicked there. I don't know about that decision. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. Don't know what's going to happen here in the final few seconds. He's going to take here. Oh, I got him on time. Okay. Well, I was not the better player in that game, but I was the faster player, and that's what counts in bullet. Only a 42-move game. I got fancy. I was overconfident when I got my knight into d3. He played knight c4, and I was trying very hard to save this light square bishop, not trade it for one of white's knights. Try to keep the bishop pair, but I should have just admitted to myself that that wasn't going to happen, I think. So it makes me think right around here, I could have played the position better. I feel like I should have some small edge. I forced him back with his queen, but it's entirely possible. It's really nothing. So getting back in there, WingForDie. Let's play d4 this game. What's it going to be? Perk time? Perk alert? Okay, I'll play the Austrian attack. Let's play a4 just to stop any b5 business. I know a lot of players who play the modern kind of frown upon a4. They don't think it's particularly good, but for a bullet game, it's fine. All right, I'm going to advance in the center. No holds barred. He's going to go knight g4 probably. Okay, let's continue pushing. And try to get some play going on in the middle. Let's do this. Trying to hit that rook on b8. I don't want to trade the queens. Let's keep the queens on board. Let's go here, just chase him around. Thing is, he can still castle, though. He wants that pawn. Okay, let's go here. If he castles, I have queen b3, check. And then knight f7. Can I go g4? I'll try g4. This is intriguing. As I get knight f7 in at the end, and he's going to have to sack the exchange. If queen d4, I have bishop e3, so I'm not concerned about that. Rook e7 could be coming. That's one thing that catches my eye here. So I did bait him into castling and losing the exchange. Don't know how great this is, but we'll find out. Does this move work? Not quite. Okay, let's go here. I really want rook e7. I'm going to go all the way back. Ooh, knight takes g4. Ugh. I should not have allowed that. Maybe I'm still okay somehow. Did I almost... I almost trapped his queen there. Knight d5. That came out of nowhere. I think he's got to go queen here. No, he has queen d2. I hope he doesn't notice that. Okay, because now I can take this. All right. I don't know what to do. I'm going to come here. My queen is so far away is the problem. Let's do this. I'm going to give back a little material. Let's do that. Try to take on d4 next. Let's go pin this guy and win his queen. Whoa, that was sharp. I'm very glad he didn't see queen to d2 right here. Queen d2, and then he's coming in on the bishop on d2. I don't really see what I do there. I'm probably just busted completely. I would have played something like b4 to have my queen participating on the second rank. So I probably made an error right here after queen b4. This was peskier than I thought it would be. He's attacking my b2 pawn. What did I play? Bishop f2 and then rook f8. My queen went to a really awkward square. I didn't want to put it on a2, but I felt like if I didn't, he was going to take b2 next move. So complicated game. My push in the center wasn't as strong as I thought it might be. Playing e5, taking. Sometimes in the modern, black even, or Pirt's modern, black goads white into playing this advance and then tries to prove that the pawn is overextended. All right, back in action. Cap'n Cook. Oh, I remember that guy. I'd like to play him again. I need some revenge, Cap'n Cook. He took me down in a recent game. This looks good for side chick, unless black can blockade on the dark squares, as he's trying to do with queen d6. Side chick also tough at 22-33. That's an underrated opponent. He's fast and he's a grandmaster. This still looks a bit better for white. It's equal material. White's got some pressure with this queen bishop battery. Black has to watch out for rook takes f7 shots. Okay. Same player. Looks like they play c6 on move 1 as their default move. Let's take and enter a exchange Slav because I feel like this is a good version of it. I'm going to let them take this pawn on b2 because I get a knight b5. I feel like with knight c7 coming, this must be good. And now they're going to lose a piece. Let me just think how I want to do this. I'll just go here, play it simple. Oh, they're losing their queen instead of a piece. I thought they were going to play queen takes a2. But yeah, we just won that game. He resigned. So this is not a good version of the exchange Slav for black because they play knight bd7 on move 4. More normal, of course, is d takes c4 the Slav, or e6 the semi-Slav, or a6 is even played, even g6. But specifically against knight bd7, it's smart to trade and play bishop f4 because this light square bishop is blocked in. Also, it's hard for them to play bishop d6. So I like that position for white. And queen b6 is trying for too much. It's possible here. Maybe not. I was thinking maybe I could have tried knight b5 a move earlier, but it's premature, especially if he has queen a5 check, forking my king and my knight. I could have played it here, though. Maybe. I guess he has bishop b4 even there. Okay, so we're playing side chick. Let's try to play a good game. I'll play bishop f5. I'm going to play this line where the bishop actually goes back to c8. Am I? No, I'm going to play queen b6 because he didn't take first. So this is acceptable for black, I believe, from what I recall here. Knight b4. Let's do knight b4, threatening knight c2. Try to force him into something unpleasant. Let's defend that knight. Bring this back. I feel like his rook is strangely placed on the a4 square. I'd like to play e5 and hit his center. See what we can get going out of that. If he takes, knight d3 should be in my favor at some stage. All right, let's do that. Knight d3 once again, if I can. Let's just consolidate a little bit in the center. Intriguing position. The more he thinks, the better it is for me. So b5 perhaps? Let's go a5. Again, just trying to shore some stuff up. Here, knight g4 is now a threat. Ooh, and he fell right for that. That's beautiful. The pawn is pinned, and I'm going to pick up his bishop next move. He resigned immediately. This is a tough position to play for white, I believe. After I got my knight to b4, it's awkward for him because knight c2 is a threat, and you can't dislodge this knight with a pawn by virtue of these double pawns. So white had to kind of play around that piece, but I was eventually able to coordinate with my other knight. And even though I lost my light square bishop, always knight d3 was an issue. And he quite understandably blundered into knight g4 right after I castled. Oh, side chick disconnected and forfeits. Yeah. Sometimes they just disconnect instead of resigning. A little bit of poor sportsmanship, but you never know. They could have actually legitimately got disconnected. But I know I slightly look down on players who make that a habit. So I'm at 24.75. I accomplished my goal, but let's keep going. Let's play a few more games. Probably going to keep this session shortish. I've just been talking so much today already. You guys are probably sick of me by now, but I'll play a few more games. I've been making an effort lately to get at least 8 hours of sleep, and I've been doing this for the past couple weeks, and I think it's really helped. I gotta be honest with you guys. Like I think I'm just a lot sharper when I'm getting the rest that I think my body needs, basically. I don't even know why I say I should be honest with you guys, because that should be obvious for everyone, right? Like if you're getting sufficient sleep, you're going to be performing at a higher level. And it's a big difference for me. I know some people can function on like 6 hours of sleep or less, but I notice a difference. You get to that stage when you're sleep deprived where your body will just push through, even if you don't have sufficient sleep, but you kind of forget like how good it actually feels to get a full 8 hours. So, okay, I'm playing a sharp line of the King's Indian, this bayonet variation with b4. And these often devolve into race situations where black is pushing on the king's side and white is furiously trying to attack the center and the queen's side. So there's a lot of theory in this line. I'm going to try to go b5 next. So my bishop will be attacking d6. Note that the bishop on e2 makes it a little harder for black to achieve g4. He's slowing down a little bit. I don't think that was a good move. I'm going to take this and then crash through on d6. What? You don't even take back. Wow. Okay, well, let's keep going here. I have a feeling, yeah, he's going to throw the kitchen sink at me. Let's just play g3 so the queen specifically can't get to the h4 square. I guess he can play... I don't know what's going on here. What a mess of a position this is. Okay, I'm going to bring this back and sack on f3. That's my plan. It's my big bad plan. Let's go d7. Take that. And again, he doesn't take. H4 maybe? No, he's going to sack if I do that. Okay, let's do this first. I'm going to try to eliminate this knight and then take on f3. Wow. Wowee. Okay, I think I can take here. No! Oh, I'm getting mated. Oh, that was very nice. That was a pure hack attack in the King's Indian. And I couldn't figure out how to defend. This is a tricky position. Maybe bishop takes g4 is forced? Or bishop e6? Yeah, I'm pretty sure black shouldn't let me play h5 and then take on e8 and then play g4, but I couldn't figure it out. I just couldn't figure out what to do. Maybe here, e takes f5, queen h4, h3, something like that. But even there, he can take on h3. My gosh. This guy just killed me with this bludgeoning attack. This is why I play the exchange variation often against the King's Indian, to avoid this. All right, well, that game hurt my rating. I'm back down to 24.46. That's a fun one from Black's point of view. Could I have done? I thought about h4 here, but I think he was going to sack on h4. Maybe he would. I'm sure he would, actually. There's no other good way to get through. h4, rook takes, pawn takes, queen takes. Yeah, I guess he's got something. Still, must be a defense. Messy game. Very messy. That was a nice checkmate, though. Was I... Oh, no. Okay, so if I play king takes h2, he's going to go queen h5 check, king to g1, and then queen h3, and it doesn't look like I can stop mate on g2 is the problem. I was thinking for a second I might be able to sacrifice on f3, but he's got enough stuff covering that square. Okay, WingForDie is next. Let's play queen d8 this time. I thought I was going to go undefeated this session. It was not to be, unfortunately. He plays this line, queen d3. Yeah, this is not a bad option at all. A la Magnus Carlsen versus Nikola Jukic. Okay, he wants b4, so I'm going to try to frustrate that attempt. Let's take that. Let's go knight f6. And, okay, let's play queen c7. So he's got the two bishops. Black has a solid position, as usual, in the Scandi. I'll play b5. Sometimes b5 is good, sometimes it isn't. It really depends. b2 being hard to hold for white is kind of nice. Let's go here, and this bishop has a hard time reaching a decent square all of a sudden. Can he play bishop e3? He might be able to. Let's go here. I want to take, but I don't want c6 being weak at the end. So let's do this. I want to go rook b5. That's my plan. Let's go here. I'm going to actually triple and attack that pawn. Let's go king f8. He was threatening bishop takes h6. So we're going to go here. And how does he hold this pawn? Maybe he doesn't. Can we take? I think we can. Go after that pawn. And then we're going to hit the a3 pawn as well at the end of this line. Let's take here. We're holding d6. This is nice. Hard for him to move, too. Yeah, he just resigned. So we got through on the queen side before he was able to drum anything up on the king side. Just got to be careful with stuff around your king like that. Like here, queen g4, threatening bishop takes h6. It's a pretty transparent threat, but if you're moving fast, then you might miss something like that. I wonder, I couldn't calculate it all, but right here, when he played bishop to e3, I was thinking of two moves, actually. Knight takes e3 or bishop takes g3. Point of bishop takes g3 being f takes g3, knight takes e3. But I wasn't sure about like queen takes c6 and reply. Maybe even bishop takes c6. In retrospect, this looks good, but I didn't want to risk it at the time. Okay, I'm going to play 2 more games. I'm back in the pool. No perfect session, but still means we can try our hardest on these last 2 games. Let's watch Anit for a second. He's in good shape to win this one. He's up a bishop. Rook d8 is coming, and his opponent has no time as well. I wonder if this guy's related to the Llama Lord. How's it going, the Llama Lord, if you're out there? Queen takes b8, followed by rook takes d8. Or rook to d8, winning the queen would have worked. Oh, no, actually, it would not have. Never mind. I was thinking queen takes b8, rook d8, but if queen takes b8 comes with check on white's king. Ooh, atoz. This guy's always tough. This guy has killed me in the past, but that's going to end right here and now. Let's play bishop f5. And, okay, let's play the bishop back to g6, a little more combative. Go here. He's probably going to try for e4. You know what? I'm going to take this way and try for e5 and reply. We'll see how this goes. We're going to go here. It's just a different way of playing this position. I'm going to take this one because I can. c5, nah. Actually, I think I can take. I'll do it. If queen b3... Okay, I didn't see that, but I'll try to defend this for now. Yikes. He's going to get that, I think. All right, I guess I got to give up my knight on the b2 square. Let's just try to centralize for now. He grabs that pawn. Makes sense. Let's bring this in. Let's go here. attacking his knight. I don't know about this. Okay. Let's go bishop e4. Trying to hit that knight on f3. Reposition here. Let's look for a trade. Still not like thrilled about my position, but it's something at least. Hopefully I can play d4 if he takes on b5. He notices though. Okay, let's do this. We're gonna go here. Feel like I got to keep both the rooks on the board to have a chance, but it's going to be tough now. Because I'm a little down on... Well, it's even on time. Even-ish. Go attack that bishop. We hung that. Let's get these up to safe squares. Oh no! Oh, he caught my pre-move. Yeah, he's so fast. He gets me in the time scrambles a lot. Although there it was tougher for me, I think, because I had the rook against the two pieces. But once I won his rook, I should not have lost that game. I should have eliminated one of his pawns and somehow held that. So, okay, I'm going to get back in the pool for hopefully this last game against Atoz. And let's play sharp with bishop g5. He plays the Cambridge Springs. Okay, let's speed up a little bit, John. Let's go h3. He finally takes. Okay, we'll trade that and go queen e2. All right, let's just centralize for now. He's probably going to come with c5 at some stage. Let's pull this back. And okay, I'm gonna go queen d2. Just try to reposition ever so slightly. Let's bring this in. Maybe knight g5 is on the docket. Something along those lines. Try to go h4, h5 perhaps. Weaken his structure ever so slightly. Let's go here. I just don't want to lose this pawn. Let's do that. He can play his knight into f4, as he just did. If we get a trade, maybe I can sack here. Okay, I get this in. Nice, nice. Let's do that. Just keep it simple. I want to sack on g5. But let's not get mated first. Let's really avoid that if possible. Let's go f4. Try to get through here. Got to avoid the bad stuff happening. I think he's going to run with this king. Probably has to. He's going to take h5. Rook takes h2. Oh, man. Yeah, I blundered right into it again. That was a nice setup. Yeah, this guy just kills me. He kills me every time. I don't know what it is. Queen e2 is very tricky. In retrospect, I see some ways I could have combated that, but that was a tricky move. Wow. I guess I got to play queen f3. Queen f3, blocking queen takes h5. Okay, I'm gonna play him. I'm gonna play a couple more times because I know this guy's still in the pool, and I really want to take him down. I'm violating my rule about quitting when I mean to quit, but oops, I just played a bad move there. But okay, it's bullet. It's just for fun. So let's play bishop e7. Okay, I'll take that. Let's castle. Just be solid, right? Try to go rook d8. Just play sensible chess. Get ready for a potential trade here. Okay, we'll go knight in to f6. See what he wants to do with that bishop. Let's play b5, just fight for control of some of the center squares. I'm trying to get at c4 if I can. What is that move? That kind of came out of nowhere. I'm going to take this, actually. Let's go here, hitting the rook. I guess he has bishop back to d2, doesn't he? Bishop d2 might be a good move. Okay, what's going on? I'm going to go here. Trying to attack his knight. Bishop f4 perhaps, but then knight d5 could be good. Okay, so let's do this. If rook g3, I have knight e4. Oh my gosh, he has queen takes g7 then. Are you kidding me? Wow. Okay, I gotta go here, I guess. This is bad. Bishop takes f8. Yeah, this is really bad. Take here. Somehow I managed to survive that. I can't believe how I did that. Let's take this. Let's give a check. Force the queen trade. Get the queens off the board ASAP. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's like that's so tricky. Check that out. I think he planned that. If right here, rook g3, it looks like knight e4 is a good reply. But if knight e4, I'm actually just going to show you guys that because that was a cool tactic. So if knight e4 right here, then he has queen takes g7, bishop takes g7, rook takes g7, king h8, knight takes f7, checkmate. Amazing how this guy pulls out these tactics, man. Okay, last game. Let's try to even up the series. I'm fine with that if we get to an even series. Okay, so we're playing this QGD line once again. Let's play rook c1, maybe a more useful move than that h3 move that I did before. Okay, let's try to play queen c2 and maybe a3. I'm not sure I'm really better here, though. Okay, let's do this, I suppose. We're going to go here. Let's play h3. Look for a swap. Okay, let's take there. Rook e3, just defending this pawn. He's so much faster. Queen c3, hitting this pawn. Knight d2, defending. Let's go here. I probably need to eliminate that knight. Check doesn't quite work. Okay, I'm going to go g4. Maybe thinking about g5 at some time in the future. Let's bring up our king a little bit. I don't want a queen trade. I'd like to avoid a swap if possible. Let's go h4. Just try to open the position a little bit. To get our rook on f3, or our pawn on f3 rather. Look for a trade here. He's going to bring his king in, okay. Causing some ruckus. I just blundered the pawn on a3. Fortunately, he didn't see it. Let's go here. Let's give a check. Kind of blowing this, though. Okay, his pawn is on a protected... No. Oh my gosh. I wanted queen g2 and I pre-moved queen h2. All right, last game. This is pretty fun against Atoz. I'll play like one or two more against him, and then I'll really call it quits. I guess there I didn't even have any time at the end. He plays the opening so fast. Like, that's a system that he's played before, so probably I shouldn't play into that line. I didn't get any advantage, and he was just quicker. Like, he had like 10 or 15 extra seconds through 15 moves or so. Okay. This is like 50% tilt and 50% just like I want to keep going because these games are really fun. He might have got a game already. Let me see. Attila Jakab. He says in his finger notes he plays online poker, so he logged off. Okay. Well, I'll play one more game against whoever I get paired with, and then we'll wind it down. I guess I was winning at the end, but it doesn't matter. Okay, Enog is the final opponent. Fair to say that Atoz is like my nemesis in the 1 minute pool. I just like can't get anything past that guy. Let's play h4 and just defend the bishop on g5. Okay, now I'll withdraw this bishop. He has trouble getting his knight out. So he's going to try to rearrange. But now castles, and we're firing away at this knight on d7 that's pinned. Let's see if we can sneak in knight d6 checkmate. That would be a nice way to end the session. Probably not going to happen. All right, let's go here now. And he castles short. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to throw my g-pawn at him. So g5. Let's take this way, though, first. Okay, I'll take that. Let's go here, just hitting the rook. I'm still going to go g5. I feel like my king is sufficiently defended for now. I'm not going to worry about this rook on h1. Let's just bring this over now, because rook g1 is a pretty powerful move coming up. He doesn't have much around his king. That's his big problem. Yeah, now we're threatening mate. He's got to go g6. We're going to take that pawn. And black is not long for this world, I believe. Let's go here, threatening h7. That move I didn't see, though. That one I didn't see. I guess I got to run with my king a little bit. Let's go here. I wanted to take that rook. Thing is, he doesn't have to, though. Oh, now he took there. Okay. Well, now I got to dance around with my king. Even still, I have a pretty strong attack. This is a funny position. Okay, I won on time. We're calling it quits right there, folks. So, pretty good session to start, and then I hit a roadblock and a atoz. I'm glad I managed to take one game off of him. I lost 3 others, but it made for some entertainment right at the end. Yeah, he's just... he squeaks out wins against me, and he, as you can see, the guy is like very tactically sharp. I think this game, the next game when I was black, that I won, but he had that crazy tactic on g7 that he was trying to set up. That's like indicative of how tough an opponent that is. I don't know why his rating is so low. I think he plays much better than that. So, yeah, right here with trying to bait me into 94. But always fun. And you got me to tilt a little bit, atoz. So what was the final tally for this session? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 wins. And what, 1, 2, 3, 4 losses. 3 losses to atoz, and then that one loss against Hoffa, which was like, the guy just hacked up my king, threw the book at me, and it worked. So, fun session. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll be back again soon with another video. Talk to you guys later. Happy Monday. Have a good one. Bye, guys.